Hey everybody, my name is Jeff with a G,
And I'm Jessica with a K.
and you are watching Couple Beers. Today we're talking about, or we're going to be tasting some beers from Lagunitas, a brewery out of Northern California, located in Forest Knolls. What we have here is, you probably heard of them, but if you haven't, this is actually probably their most popular. It's an IPA. They kind of put them on the map, and it's a classic. It's been around since 1995, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
So thought, hey, let's take one of their classics, the Lagunitas IPA, classic IPA. It's a little more than the average, which is kind of like 4.3%. So this Lagunitas IPA is 6.2%. Now let's check out one of their new ones, which is the Lagunitas Daytime, which is at 4% even. And on top of that, to give you some extra stats, it has the 98 calories and 3 carbs, which is actually really good. The lowest other beer I've ever seen calorie-wise was 120 calories. And to get a beer down in calories is pretty tough.
Especially in IPA too.
Yeah, I'd say normal calories is about 140 is a easy, like pretty standard or like tough to get. That's the lowest I've seen in general. One beer is actually like surprisingly healthy, which we'll probably talk about in another episode. But very cool. So if you're looking to watch your calories or just drink in the daytime,
Try to watch your figure.
maybe try this Lagunitas.
There you go.
We'll try it for you to tell you how it goes. Let's start the pouring. I'll start with the classic. Old as, what is it? Age before beauty. Okay. Oh, ring the bells. Ooh, that's a great color. That's like the true golden color. Alright.
Nice pour.
Yeah, a little heavy on the end, but alright. That is good. That's right where you want it.
Good looking foam.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm foaming at the mouth over that. Okay. So let's hold this up in the glory that it is. Wow. Okay. It's very nice.
Really nice golden amber color.
Yeah, especially with this glass that we're using right now. It gives a really cool fade to where you see it's like, the yellow. It's almost, maybe it's because my skin's mixing, it's almost like a little bit of green right there.
Yeah.
And then yellow radiates all the orange, so.
Amber orange.
Yeah.
And light yellow.
Very amber, oh.
It's got light foam.
Yeah, it very, looks like very airy foam texture. Like you can really see the bubbles, not too thin, but as you see, we got a good lift out of it. Solid IPA smell right off the bat. Okay, a little malty, right? Yeah, really very nice. Okay, so you get that kind of the malts a little, not overly roasted, but you can definitely smell them. And if you're unfamiliar with beer, kind of like what goes into it, there's 4 primary ingredients, which are water, the water of life, water, malt, hops, and yeast. So I'd say those are very prevalent. You can smell the hops, smell the malt,
I can definitely smell the hops.
smell the water.
I smell the water.
All right, let's do a taste test. It smells good. It smells like the classic IPA one. And ooh, that tastes like a classic IPA.
See, you like IPA. I'm, on the other hand, I'm not that big of a fan, but I could drink it if it's presented in front of me like this. So here we go.
Yeah, that is a solid IPA just based on that first little taste test. And I shouldn't make it sound like I've never tried this beer before. Fun little personal fact about us is that we actually had this beer at our wedding. And it was not supposed to be there, but the lady,
coordinator.
the lady, well, not the coordinator, but the lady that owned the property.
That's true. That is true.
She actually, somehow when she came to meet us, beer came up, and she saw how enthusiastic I was about it. And usually they charge extra to feature or have Lagunitas IPA there, but she said, you know what, I'm gonna throw it in. So we were very lucky for that. And we've got a cat investigating the computer or the camera off screen. That's all right.
Sorry if I seem
Couple
distracted.
beers and a couple cats.
A couple cats.
Yeah, if you're wondering why we're like have a scared look. That's
Just,
we apologize. So back to the beer.
Ben, but this is very easy to drink. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's not too offensive, not too bitter, not too malty or hoppy.
Easy to drink.
It's easy
that's
to
what you
drink.
wanna
Yes,
say,
it's
yeah.
easy to drink, and yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think that's a point because this is actually an older brewery. I don't know if we already mentioned it, they've been around since 1995, so they've definitely entered the big leagues now. And a little fun fact about them is actually they are no longer classified as a craft brewery. Heineken actually bought them out in 2015, and so that's why and you can see why. It's if you try one, which we encourage, if you see one out there at your local bar, this is definitely a go-to. What Jessica's trying to say, it's easy to drink. I think it's because it's an older IPA, so it captures all the great things that you like about an IPA, but not going too far with crazy experiments or anything. Like a lot of IPAs today, they kind of bring in a lot of citrus. This is a solid IPA without any citrus, I'd say.
There's citrus, just a little bit. Like
It's natural though. I'll bet they haven't even put any in there. But and again, if anybody knows a little bit more about the brewing process of Lagunitas IPA, let us know. But I would say that compared to others I've tasted, it's a solid go-to. Which is why we were so stoked to have it at our wedding.
That's a good addition to it.
Yeah. All right, so before we get too deep into that one, let's open up this other beautiful beer. Well, we'll see if it's beautiful. I like the fun little note. They have a cool little blue top on the can. I kind of like that.
Nice pop of color.
Yeah, pop of color. Love that sound. Yeah.
Lagunitas daytime.
Lagunitas
Low calorie, low carb.
Yeah, low calories. Ooh, okay, so right off the bat, you can see this is a very light color. This is like a blonde almost.
That looks.
Yeah.
It's very carbon. Look.
Oh yeah, look at all
carbonated.
those. That's
Good color.
bubbly. It almost looks like a champagne.
Seltzer.
Wow. Seltzer. Yeah, very, very cool.
It's very clear and very golden color.
Yeah, okay. That's so because of that, look at that carbonation, the foam is dissipating like very quick. Like that's a very thin foam as
Very
far as
airy foam.
yeah, very airy. Yeah, very bubbly.
Which makes sense because the amount of carbon it's producing.
Okay. Carbon dioxide.
Carbon.
Watch out for the carbon. This beer's destroying our ozone. Yeah. So this is a good. I think this matches the label very well. This smells like summer. I can. Sorry, I'm hogging
I
it.
know, right? It's a classic husband.
So that's a very like I can smell like it's almost like the pollen. You can smell like the grass. It's very floral to me. Like it's very on
I
that
think it's
side.
citrus. I might sound crazy
You thought
saying
that was
citrus
citrus.
again, but this is pretty citrus too.
Okay. Again, if anybody knows a little more about the details of the brewing process for this, the ingredients, let us know if there's any citrus. I'm not getting it. She is. Okay. It definitely tastes, it's good. It's very clean. Tastes like kind of, it's funny, like a daytime. I think that's a very excellent, if that was their plan, it's like, yeah, I want a more like hydrating beer. I'm gonna be out kind of with some buddies doing some activities during the day. Like we're going to the river, we're going fishing. I don't know, maybe fishing, you don't really need to exert too many calories, but.
It's really light.
Yeah, very
almost
light.
Watery with the texture or like in your mouth. It's
Yeah, you can tell, like, yeah, it's not gonna dry your mouth out. That's what it tastes like. It's not gonna like, because some of those, if you're not drinking water when you're drinking, you're gonna really dry out. But this, I feel like, will keep you hydrated. Yeah, you know what? I take it. It's not like super floral. I think I really oversold that a little bit. It's light on the flavor. You can taste the yeast. I think there's a yeasty kind of dryness to it, so it's kind of like.
Which makes you want to drink more of it.
Yeah.
So give it to me.
Hey.
I think I like this, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
I think we're gonna have to switch the bottles.
Really?
Put this right here. You can drink that one.
Okay, all right.
Personally,
Swap it up.
It's an easy IPA beer.
Yeah. And that is an IPA. Wow. Yeah. That is definitely probably the easiest IPA to drink. It's not going to overhop you at all.
I'm joking, but if you want it, then.
No, we can. Well, I'm sure we'll still share. Thank you, though. But when your wife claims dominance over a beer, you go with it. Okay, so coming back, definitely smell the malt a lot more. So this is kind of a, maybe that's why it's such a popular and it kind of gained so much traction for like being an easy to drink IPA is because there's a good malt to hop balance. Like it's not super in one direction, and I don't mean to say that like it's boring. I mean to say that it's kind of, they found a solid flavor and they stuck to it. And again, this is what put Lagunitas on the map. So speaking of maps, as I mentioned before, this was the brewery kind of started in Forest Knolls, okay, but it's called Lagunitas. Well, the brewer Tony McGee, he's like, okay, the next town over is named Lagunitas. Well, that has a cooler name than where I live. I'm gonna name the beer after that.
There you go.
So what's funny is Lagunitas IPA is actually named from the next town over than where it was built. So is the grass always greener on the other side?
Okay, there you go. That's good to know.
Maybe it is. I want this beer back. I'm just kidding. On a summer day, that's very good. I would like that. Maybe I'm a little more classic IPA driven, so maybe I would go with this.
Yeah.
Which maybe that works out. It's a.
Well, to be honest though, it's like I said earlier, I'm not big on IPA, but both of these beer are like so easy to drink. I could drink them both, to be honest, but
okay. I could see
they're
that.
very easy to drink.
They are. So I would say that Lagunitas is a very strong brewery as far as kind of classical. I don't think I've seen too much. They did have another one at our local store that was pretty design heavy on the bottle or the can. It had a pretty wild design, which was, I feel like, pretty competitive in today's beer. But we did want to try the daytime because you don't ever see like a beer advertised as low calorie.
Especially with this brand. I'm surprised that they have a low calorie too.
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting direction for beer to go. I know as a beer drinker myself, I've run into that problem lately. The belt's getting a little tight. So maybe a lower calorie beer is a very good option for me. I know my wife would appreciate it. And then maybe my in-laws would stop giving me crap about my weight. Just kidding. That's a whole nother episode. We don't need to get into that now. Let's keep it on the beer. So I would give it a thumbs up. I would give Lagunitas a thumbs up.
Me too.
I think, cheers to you. Well, before we close out, I think we've talked a lot about the beer. I think it's good. I think hopefully you guys have a good understanding of it. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Interesting story about our good old friend Tony McGee here, the creator of Lagunitas, is that he got a start in his kitchen, and he was working on the stove, and apparently a little bit of the wort, which is the liquid kind of residue from the mash of when you're mashing the hops, the malt, whatever. That's interesting stuff. You can look it up. So some of that spilled over some of this liquid and leaked down into the oven, and apparently it's highly flammable. So when Thanksgiving came around and his wife starts making the turkey, wildfire appears and basically burns the whole dinner to a crisp.
I was gonna say the whole turkey?
The whole turkey. Is it Christmas Vacation? Or Christmas, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That bad. So, yeah, so he that's when he realized, you know what, if I like this enough, I have to take it out of my house. I'm gonna really get serious about it. Also, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we hope you enjoyed and learned or feel a little more informed when you're making your beer choices. So cheers to Lagunitas. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching Couple Beers. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.